So this is the Speakeasy podcast, the behind the scenes of what it is to be the successfully paid speaker and author. I'm your host, Altovise Pelzer, the voice coach, professional speaker, certified life coach, Amazon bestselling author, podcaster, founder of the World Voice League, that part. And I'm super excited for another episode of the Speakeasy podcast, simply because I love bringing you the stuff that we need to talk about, the inside stuff, the behind the scenes, the behind the curtain type of information that most people do not want to discuss. With that being said, listen, show me the power. Man, when I look at, what a powerful event can do and what a powerful event has done for not just me in the past, but for other people that I've seen going to events, because that's what everybody knows at least one person that's gone to an event within the last 3 months. If you're a speaker, you've probably spoken at an event within the last 3 months. If you haven't, are you really a speaker? That was a dramatic pause, in case you didn't know. Just to put that out there, that was a dramatic pause. So everyone should know, the behind the scenes of what it is to be at some of these events, what's included, what are some of the things that people really don't talk about, what are some of the things that people are just kind of on the hush about, but it's definitely something that needs to be said. We've seen a huge shift when it comes to events within the last 5 years, I want to say. And the shift has gone from events being something that you're just kind of excited and you go get all this excitement and all this energy and all this wonderfulness, and you feel it and you feel it. And then you go home and do absolutely nothing. There are actually some people, and this is interesting that, I've been able to find out about these different things, but this is interesting that there are really actually people who just event hop. Not really a term that you want to have connected to you, but they kind of just event hop, and they just kind of go from event to event to event, because it's almost like a high for them, right? It's almost like they get something that really makes them feel good. It makes them, they need to go to that next event. They need to go to the next thing that's happening, but they're not necessarily executing in anything in their business. They're not necessarily moving forward or making any significant connections. You guys know that I'm really big on networking and creating meaningful relationships when it comes to business, and creating significant connections when it comes to expansion. You guys know that it's been through me networking that I was able to go and have the speakers that were on the summit that was in February. You guys know that it's been through me networking and going to events that I was able to connect with people for the podcast. And so that has always been a foundation for me. And I keep that as a sound foundation because there are many, many people who don't look at networking as a key element of their business. And then they get to a certain point that they can't get past, where networking would have helped them, because they would have been able to go and get the help and services they needed from somebody within their network. So when I say show me the power, there's a huge power in going to an event as an attendee. But most people miss it because they're excited about who's on the platform. So we get excited. They're excited about the topic that may be talked about. They get all of this, I'm going to get a free shirt. I get a free book. I get a free this. I get a free that. They get excited about all of that stuff. But as they're moving forward, again, it doesn't translate to them actually executing in anything. How many of you have been in that understanding, in that mindset, or you kind of understand where I'm coming from? Hey, I was about to say good morning. Hey, Roz. You kind of understand where I'm coming from. Got to speak to the studio audience, guys. When it comes to really taking this to a whole nother level. So let's think about the events that you've been to, that you personally have been to within the last 3 months. What did that event look like? What type of setup did they have? Was it something that was more intimate? with like 25 people or less? Or was it something that was a huge event with maybe like 50 to 100, 1,000 people? Yes, there are events out there with 1,000 people. And even though I'm an introvert and that's not like the ones that I would go to per se, there are events out there that have thousands of people that you can still that can still be a huge significant game changer for you. But it's what are you looking for? And that brings us into number one is, what are your expectations? I have found that there are so many people who go to events without an expectation. And expectation will lead you in how you engage with people. It will lead you in the types of questions that you ask. It will lead you in the connections that you make. What's your expectation for being when you go to this event? Now, that's why I said, in the beginning, you get a lot of people who get excited and they'll go to an event because a particular person is going to be at the event. They go to an event because of the name. They follow up because of, it's that name. They want to be attached to that name, which is great. It's fine. But what's your expectation that you want to get from that person? So when I go to an event and it's going to be Oprah speaking, what's my expectation that I want to receive from Oprah? I don't just want to hear her speak because I can press play on YouTube and hear her speak. I can go and watch her show on Sundays and hear her speak. What's my expectation? My expectation is that I want to do something significant with the information I'm getting, or that I want to make some significant connections. That part, because imagine if you're going to an event for Oprah, and this is that secret sauce stuff, right? If you're going to an event where Oprah is going to be there, Michelle Obama, what other people are going to be in the audience? It's going to be other entrepreneurs, other speakers, other authors. It's going to be other people who are looking to do great things in their business. It's going to be people who are looking for that inspiration, who are looking for that energy. And so this is your opportunity to make some significant connections from people that are not within your current community, that are not within your current circle. That's where expansion comes from, right? That's where we're able to grow our network. That's where we're able to now connect with some people who, again, may have some things and some ideas and some opportunities that we would not have been connected to before. It's not necessarily always about who's going to be there as the speaker, because we never know what speaker is going to give us something that significantly changes our, the trajectory of our business or of our life, of our relationships, of our family. But it's showing up with an expectation that I'm going to leave with some significant connections when I'm going from here. I'm going to make sure that the connections that I have when I leave here are going to be the ones that are going to really take us to I was going to sing and say a whole new world, but I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm not going to do it to y'all. I'm not going to do it. But you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. Is that, it's great to say, I'm going to this event and this is the person that's going to be there. It's even better to say, I'm going to this event, this is the person that's going to be there, but I want to leave with, meeting somebody that's from the West Coast. I want to leave with, meeting somebody that's in a different genre than I am when it comes to my business. That's another thing. We get a little nervous when it comes to networking with people inside of our genre as well as outside, which I haven't understood that part just yet. I don't know if we think, if we just think that everybody's just going to be out to steal our clients and our customers, or if everybody's just out to poach us. But I need you guys to understand that we have to make those significant changes both inside and out. We have to make those significant changes both inside and outside. So that's something to think about. Inside our network, meaning inside our genre, and then outside as well. We can make some great connections. So that part. So let's go back. Let's go back. What's your expectation? So the next time you go to an event as an attendee or as a speaker, because this again is a great information session for all of you speakers. It's great information for all of you vendors. And something that I said before we started recording was that I've been in all four sections of, people that attend events. I've been in all four sections. And you're going to say, what do you mean all four sections? I've been an attendee who's been sitting in a seat. I've been a speaker who's been on the stage. I've been a vendor who's been, vending and everything. And then I've been behind the scenes. I've done my own events as well as been that's 5 sections. As well, I've been behind the scenes, meaning I've done my own events, and then I've been behind the scenes as a volunteer for somebody else's event. And so you always get a different perspective from every angle when it comes to events. But you have a lot of people that show up, again, because they're excited, they want to connect, but they don't really understand the process. And they don't understand that, again, I have to start with what is my expectation. That's always going to be your starting point, no matter what event you're at. It can be a 3-day event. It can be a 3-hour event. What's your expectation when you do or when you show up for this next event? Now, I know that we're doing a tour starting in June. So what's the expectation for me as an event host, as an event coordinator, is that I want people to leave having a better understanding of how to network their way to success. That's always that's always the takeaway when you come to one of the live events. There's some events that I do where we just want you to learn whatever information it is you need for your particular business. For the tour, it's always, you're going to learn about the different aspects of business, but I want you to walk away with being able to network your way to success, because that is what it is all about, especially now with us having so many opportunities. I know I just posted an IGTV video over on Instagram on my World Voice League page and was just talking about, networking our way to success. We got to understand that with social media and technology, we're now like 3 degrees of separation from the people that we really want to connect with the most. Now, are we really ready for those connections? Maybe. maybe not. But we have such a significant leg up with social media where we can do a post and that post can get shared and we get connected to the exact person that we wanted to, talk to or have as a guest on our podcast or reach out to them on Twitter. Like, we have so many different options that open up for us now that we really, the only thing holding us back is us. But again, it starts with that expectation. So that's significant when you go to an event. So the next thing after, thinking about what is that expectation that I have, this is the thing that has shifted with events. They've gone from motivation to giving you some real life action steps to help you succeed in whatever area it is that they're talking about. You have a lot more people that are giving out freemiums. You have a lot more people that are giving out ebooks. You have a lot more people that are giving out, one-on-one sessions, or not so much one-on-one sessions, but like strategy calls or discovery calls, however they preface it, because they want to get you in position to start moving. That's where having that expectation takes you to a different level as well. That's where literally having that expectation takes you to a whole nother level as well, because you're not going to settle. You're not going to settle. You're going to go all in and not going to be fearful about, what does that mean, going all in? What does that cover? What's a part of me going all in? What do I have to say to myself? What do I have to say to other people when it comes to me saying yes to that experience and that opportunity? So again, moving from motivation to the action steps. Now, do I feel as though every event is still going to have that motivational piece? Do I feel as though every event is still going to have something to motivate us? Yes. There should not be, because if you're not getting motivated, then what's the point? they're motivating you to take action. That should be the line, the journey that they're taking you on, is they're motivating you to take action. If they're just motivating you and then leaving you there, it's not how this works. Again, that goes back to that E word, but they should be motivating you to take action. And when we go to an event, and even like I said, in the different aspects that I've been in events, I always see it differently. As a vendor, there's like, as a vendor, what's my motivation to take action? You know, sometimes it's listening to the speakers, but my action is supposed to be me vending. It's supposed to be me making money, and recouping not just the money that I put into, you know, for this location, for this space, but also making a profit on it. You know, that should be the action that I'm taking. And, you know, as an event organizer, what's my, you know, motivation? And then my action motivation is that, you know, I want to empower people. But what's the action? That means I'm marketing. That means I'm getting in front of people. You know, there's always that motivation to action. Hey, Latanza. Hey, sis. Yeah, what is my motivation to action steps? And if they're just leaving you at motivation, then they're doing you an injustice. They're doing you a disservice. I've seen a huge shift in events where, you know, again, it's motivation to action. So for instance, I was just this past weekend able to be a part of the simulcast that Priscilla Shirer was doing. And I was able to watch it from home. Amazing, amazing event. But again, even with that type of event, even though that was a religious event and that was a church event, it was still not just me doing motivation. It was motivation to take action. And they were breaking it up in segments so that way you took action. They broke it up in segments so that way you had moments of prayer. They broke it up in segments so that way you had moments where you were really going ahead and implementing the things that she was saying, that you were going and praying about the things that she had been talking about and sharing with us. So that meant you taking action. And sometimes that means them implementing you taking action right now. Because guess what? Anybody can say that they're going to take action when they get home. Anybody can say that, oh yeah, next week I'm going to sign up. As soon as, next week hit, I'm going to go sign up. Anybody can say that, but how are they moving you to action now? Because there's a difference with me taking action next week and me taking action now. Right or wrong. There's a difference between me taking action next week and me taking action now. Me taking action now means that I can't give excuses. That part. I can't give excuses. If they're giving me something that's going to make me take action right now. And so what that does is that leads me to the last point, is that they're going to give you a call to action. Now, the call to action for some is going to be get this ebook. The call to action for others, like I said, is going to be sign up for a call. The call to action for even more is going to be, hey, come join me in this webinar. Come join me in this class. It could be in any number of things. What's that call to action that they're giving you? And that's significant. It's significant because you have to determine if the call of action is going to be something that is going to move you forward, or is it just something that sounds good? Remember, it always goes back to that expectation. What's the expectation? So when I realize what the expectation is, I'm going to say, okay, so is their call of action directly connected to my expectation? Is their call of action going to move me forward in whatever it is I said I wanted to accomplish by coming here today? If it's not, then now I got to go back and say, okay, so maybe that wasn't the right opportunity, and that's okay if it wasn't. But what do I need to do next? And I think we get a little nervous because we get FOMO, and it's that fear of missing out. So we say yes to everything. We saying yes to every situation. Give me that. Give me one of those. I want one of those too. Oh yeah, give me 3 of those. Okay, I get it. It's FOMO. It's fear of missing out. But the reality comes in is that sometimes that fear of missing out is making you become a victim of becoming a hoarder, because now you're just collecting things and you're not executing. That fear of missing out makes you waste time, energy, and money, because you sign up for programs that you're not necessarily ready for, or you sign up for programs that you're not necessarily, that aren't relevant to your business and your brand. So we really have to understand and say, okay, again, I start with that expectation, and that's going to lead to, okay, I'm watching out now. I'm paying attention to the motivation versus the action steps that they're giving me. The motivation is great. Everybody needs motivation, but motivation is only going to take you so far, because you can give me all the motivation in the world, but if you don't give me action steps, then I'm just happy until that happiness wears off. How many of you understand that? I'm just happy until that happiness wears off. So now I have to go from, okay, I need the action steps, but that means, okay, what's their call to action? And their call to action, again, may be a freemium. It may be a course. It may be a webinar that's coming up. It may be an opportunity to work with them and collaborate with them. It may be any number of things, but I have to weigh the options. I have to weigh it and say, is this significant for me? Is this going to be what I need in order to take my business to a whole nother level? Is this going to be what I need in order for me to say, okay, I really do like what I do, but I think this can help me do it better. You know, I really do think that I'm okay where I am, but this can help me push to another level, because I think it's time to go to that next level. If it's not a call to action that is moving you forward, guys, I get it. We get that shiny object syndrome, but don't sign up for it. We got to make sure that it's something significant that's really going to take us to that next level. And as we move to that next level, what does that mean? What's the strategy? Am I just moving to the next level and thinking that this is going to be okay and everything's just going to fall into place? Because it's not. We're still going to need some action steps. We're still going to need some other things, some significant things that we're going to have to add to our business and brand. But this can definitely help put us in the right position. This can definitely connect us to the right person. That's going to be a significant thing for us as a business and as a brand. So with that being said, I definitely have to, put that out there, that I always see it, because I've done every area when it comes to events. I've done every single, I guess you could say, type of the event. I've been the MC, I've been the event coordinator, I've been the person over the speakers, I've been a vendor, I've been a speaker, I've so many things, and I've been the volunteer, I've been so many different, titles. But even in being all of those different titles, I've seen the shift in events. I've seen people go to this event and that event and not make any significant changes. I've seen them go from this event and that event and not really move forward in their business. I've seen many people go from event to event to event and stop moving forward in their business completely shut down. And that's definitely not something that we want. I'm sure that that's not the goal when it comes to the event organizers. They want you to move forward. They want you to make some significant changes, most of them. You want to see, and I don't even know if Netflix still has it on there, but there is a video that was on Netflix from Tony Robbins, and it's called I'm Not Your Guru. And they went behind the scenes and went through the whole process that they go through when they do an event. It's intense, guys. Like, when you think about what goes into putting together an event, there's a lot of moving parts. Even a telesummit, even a webinar, there's a lot of moving parts that go into this telesummit. There's a lot of moving parts that go into this webinar. And when you realize just all of the pieces that come together for it, now you're saying, okay, I understand why they make the price the way they make it. I understand why they're doing the things, they're saying the things that they're saying for this particular event. But it also makes you go and say, okay, so now I see all the work that they've put into this. What is my expectation from it? I see all the work they put in. I see all the grinding. I see the marketing. I see the connections that have been made. Now, what does that mean for us? Where does that take us as an individual? There's always events. I know this month I am a part of the launch for the new book, Speak Up. Super excited, guys. April 27th. If you are in the DMV area, definitely come and join us. www.speakupthebook.com, www.speakupthebook.com. If you're just coming to the event tickets are only $10. If you are coming and getting a book, I believe the tickets are $20. I just forgot that fast. But go ahead, check out the website. But they're doing an amazing event, and I get to be a part of that. So you guys get to come and see me speak. You get to come and I get to autograph your books. I'm super excited about that too, if you're getting your book or already have your book. I also have my personal tour that is starting June 29th. I have a couple other events that I'm a part of. I know my coach is doing several events throughout the year that I'll be showing up at different locations. So guys, you got to understand, listen, even when as a speaker, when you show up, what's your expectation for this event? One of the things that I can tell you, one of the reprimands I got from my coach, where she said, you got to stop being so excited and eager beaver to say yes to an opportunity just because they asked you. What's your expectation when you go to that event? And being an introvert, it was really hard for me because I would be at events and see other authors would be walking around with their book and saying, hey, I got a copy of the book. Would you like your copy of the book? Hey, you can get your copy of the book. That was just never me. And so it was really hard for me to say, okay, I got to make some shifts and change some things up. But I think I've really come in and found my zone when it comes to how I connect with my audience. So one of the ways I connect with my audience is through my podcast. So that was one of the things that I was able to do, was to bring them on as guests. I'm in front of a lot of entrepreneurs. And who do I bring on to the Speakeasy podcast? Speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs. Why? So we can hear their journey. So I've had a lot of people come and join up and be a part of this and sign up to be a guest. And it all goes with, hey, this is your opportunity to get some information. This is your opportunity to get some wisdom, to get some understanding, get you some. But also, it's also to see you grow. Because that's what it's all about. They come on and share some not so good stories and things that they have lived through because they want to see you grow. I want to see you grow. That's what the Speakeasy podcast brand is all about. It's about seeing you take it to the next level. So before you say yes to that next event, what is going to be your expectation? What's your expectation for that event? What's your expectation for the speakers that you're so excited to meet? What's your expectation for saying yes to that opportunity that they're offering out, that call to action? What's your expectation? And walk through in it 100%, guys. You guys know I love coming and sharing information with you guys. Don't forget, come on over. If you are a speaker, author, or entrepreneur and would love to be a guest, go to bit.ly/speakeasy podcast, and you can choose a date that works best for you. I think we're getting pretty full. So I think we're like all the way up into July when it comes to the signups right now. But make sure that you go ahead over there, check that out. We would love to have you on as a guest to share your entrepreneurial or your success journey here on the podcast. Not only that, if you go to bit.ly/Speakeasy Podcast Show, we would love to get your review of this episode or any of our other episodes, because guess what? There is no Speakeasy podcast without the Speakeasy Podcast Studio audience. And so with that being said, I appreciate you guys. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.